I'm Jim Burke, producer of the Way Forward Regenerative Conversations podcast. This presentation is a companion piece to our YouTube video featuring Barbara Slavin, a distinguished fellow of the Stimson Center and one of America's most respected voices on Iran. We created this briefing using Google NotebookLM to generate the slide graphics from our video transcript and Anthropic Claude Cowork to help draft these narration notes. We believe in being transparent about our process and using the best tools available to help you understand a complex situation. What you're about to see is a visual breakdown of the key themes from our conversation, the roots of this conflict, the strategic miscalculations driving it, and the consequences already reshaping the world. This conflict didn't come out of nowhere. In 1953, the CIA overthrew Iran's elected prime minister to protect Western oil interests. That single act planted seeds of resentment that erupted 25 years later. In 2018, Trump withdrew from the nuclear deal that Barbara said was functioning until Trump pulled out of it. That closed a key diplomatic pathway. Now, for the first time ever, the U.S. and Israel are waging a joint offensive war against Iran. As our co-host, Dr. John Izzo, emphasized, this isn't a defensive action. And the critical problem, as Barbara and the economists both noted, this is a war without a day-after plan. The graphic shows why Iran's regional influence can't simply be bombed away. The roots go far deeper than any proxy network. Iran has 2,500 years of civilization. It's the world's largest Shiite Muslim nation, and Shiite communities across Iraq, Lebanon, Bahrain, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia identify with it. After the U.S. attacked, protests erupted outside the American embassies across the region. Barbara was direct about this. Eliminating Iran's ability to project power in the Middle East, that's delusional. It's not going to happen. The real question isn't whether Iran projects influence, it's whether we can create policies that incentivize positive influence rather than negative. Here's where it gets really interesting. The three parties in this war each want completely different outcomes. Barbara put it perfectly. Trump wanted a Venezuela, and Israel wanted a Libya. Trump imagined finding a cooperative leader to cut the deal with. Netanyahu wants Iran broken and in chaos, permanently unable to threaten Israel. He's been pushing for this since 2010. Iran's goal is simply survival, and they think in generational terms. These goals will collide. Trump needs this over in weeks because of economic pressures. Israel is willing to fight much longer. As Barbara noted, Israelis will stay in bomb shelters far longer than Americans will tolerate high gas prices. This diagram shows the tragic cycle our guest described. Every step meant to weaken the regime actually strengthens it. Economic pressures triggered protests in January. Then the bombing began, and on the very first day, the U.S. accidentally hit a school and killed over 100 Iranian schoolgirls. Toxic acid rain now falls on Tehran from bomb refineries. Over 1,000 Iranians are dead. Barbara described the results as buyer's remorse among Iranians who initially wanted intervention. The regime consolidates power by pointing to the external threat. Her verdict was unequivocal. You cannot do regime change from the air. You simply can't. And when the Secretary of War says no nation building, that guarantees either chaos or authoritarian consolidation. This slide shows why conventional military superiority doesn't guarantee victory here. The U.S. and Israel are hitting missile sites, naval assets, and nuclear facilities. But as Barbara reminded us, weak is not the same as defenseless. Iran has blocked the Straits of Hormuz, cutting off 20% of the world's oil. It has 80,000 cheap drones that overwhelm interception systems, and it's striking infrastructure in Gulf states, including a desalination plant in Bahrain. There's also a frightening nuclear dimension. 900 pounds of enriched uranium sit under rubble. If Iran recovers it and goes covert, this war may have accelerated the very thing it was supposed to prevent. Israel has killed the supreme leader and threatened to keep assassinating every successor. Barbara's response was memorable. She told us about the city of Qom, the home to Iran's major seminaries. Her late driver in Iran used to call it the mullah factory. You kill one, another steps up. John Ezo compared it to a whack-a-mole, though far more serious. If you don't solve the root cause, there's always another one. We killed one Ayatollah, and now we have another. History suggests each successor becomes more paranoid and repressive, not less. The consequences radiate outward in three rings. At the center, Iran itself, massive civilian casualties, destroyed infrastructure, a regime digging in deeper. The first ring is regional. Hezbollah has displaced a fifth of Lebanon's population. Iraq militia are attacking U.S. targets, and the Gulf states' bubble of stability has burst. The Abraham Accords expansion is dead. The second ring is economic. Oil over $100 a barrel, stock markets plunging, inflation spiking, the potential global recession. The third ring is geopolitical, which brings us to the next slide. Barbara warned there will be a lot of ripple effects over time, including countries reconsidering where the U.S. bases protect them or make them targets. Russia is making out like gangbusters, as Barbara put it. Skyrocketing oil prices plus lifted sanctions on Russia oil to India. Even more alarming, Russia is providing intelligence to Iran for use against American targets. Barbara called China the adult in the room. While the U.S. destabilizes the world economy, China positions itself as a responsible global leader. Europe is sidelined. They helped negotiate the 2015 nuclear deal, but after Trump pulled out and Iran sent drones to Russia for Ukraine, Europe can't play mediator anymore. As Barbara said bluntly, Europeans haven't played a useful role since 2018. The bottom line, American rivals are stronger because of this war. So where do we go from here? Barbara's advice was direct. Declare victory and end this war as fast as humanly possible. The long-term path requires something harder. Barbara argued the real change can only come from empowering the Iranian people, and you can't do that by bombing them and sanctioning them. What's needed is a realistic diplomacy, sanctions relief, and respect for a 2,500-year-old civilization. Her final message to our audience: try to understand your adversary. Don't demonize people. Treat them as you would want to be treated yourself, and you would be surprised how far that might go. For the full conversation with Barbara Slavin, please watch our YouTube video. Subscribe to The Way Forward on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Visit the Way Forward Podcast's website. History is not a destination waiting for us to arrive. What we call history will be the result of the action we take today. Thank you.